How old is Flemeth? And is Flemeth Andraste? Let's find out today on Binky's Gaming Thoughts. I'll answer the question. I'll answer these two questions. By the way, if you're new here and you like everything Dragon Age and other BioWare games, then stick around and subscribe. So, Flemeth is known as Asha Belenar, the woman of many years. How many years? So ages ago, they claim, several hundred years at least. So I'm assuming maybe already 4, 5, maybe 6. Her husband was Ban Conabar. Ossen, a poet, was her lover who stole her heart, and they ran away together. So Conabar wanted to see Flemeth one last time on his deathbed, but it was a trap. It's a trap! And he killed Ossen, and Flemeth was imprisoned. In her wrath, she summoned a spirit for vengeance. So perhaps that spirit was probably Mythal. The way Flemeth describes it in Dragon Age Inquisition, it sounds like Mythal found her because she had been betrayed, like Flemeth had been betrayed. So Flemeth is said to have turned into an abomination. So obviously possessing a spirit inside of her. And apparently she slaughtered Conabar and all of his men. So the legends say. And they also say that for 100 years after that, hereon after, Flemeth stole men from the Chazand and brought them into the wilds to serve her daughters. So these witches of the wilds are said to have led an army to strike the Alamari and were defeated by Cormac. The Alamari are the people, if you recall, who marched with Andraste against Tevinter. Brother Jin TV found no record of Ban Conabar, Elstan, I think, or of Flemeth of Highever. So there was no actual record of them. Though it is said she was born in Highever in 300 Towers. She is said to have walked the wilds for centuries. She appears in legends regarding the first king of Ferelden, Calenhad Therin, who was born in 510 Exalted. Morgan originally thought that her mother was indeed an abomination, and she later realizes and reveals that her mother is more and not truly human. Well, obviously, if she carries the spirit of an elven god, then she's not entirely human. And I guess it's a special kind of abomination type thing of coexistence with a spirit, if that spirit is a god, and a Venuris. Flemeth clarifies to us regarding the possession of daughters that it's never against their will. She probably takes on the new body but keeps the same look. Has her look taking on a new body. That's what I think, given what we know. But regardless if she takes on several forms or the same form in the different bodies, she absorbs their essence, similarly to how Solus absorbed Mythal's essence from her. So this obviously furthers my theory that Solus was helping her in petrifying her and that she's not really dead. Like I mentioned in the past, that she was already turning into stone when she was walking away in the Fade, and before she meets up with Solus. And this could be a way to preserve her until a new host is found, until she can absorb the energy of someone else, or the essence of someone else, or take on a new form. We also know that Flemeth can cheat death, as seen in Dragon Age 2, being returned after a killing blow in Origins. So if Flemeth was indeed Andraste, suppose she was Andraste, then her people could have returned her through a ritual also, but that's still a big if, in my opinion. So how old is Flemeth? If she truly is her own person, not Andraste, and the records are valid, then she was indeed born in 300 Towers. That's 7899 FA. Corypheus was defeated in 942 Dragon. That's 8441 FA, thus making her 542 years old. If, however, Flemeth is Andraste, perhaps that would make Austin Chartan, but I'm not too sure. Then she would have been born in negative 203 Ancient. That's 7397 FA, thus making her 1044 years old. That's almost double. It's like plus 500 years, you know. Flemeth is 542, give or take 500 years, you know. Well, not take, give, perhaps. Do I personally think that Flemeth is Andraste? She would have to have been revived under exceptional circumstances for that to have been possible. She would preach about the Maker and maybe later be the host for Mythal after the betrayal, because Andraste was betrayed. Maybe she would have found Mythal before dying and kept alive that way and then brought back. But then she would not preach about the Maker if that were so, not necessarily. Why would she be aware of the elven gods and then preach about the Maker? So that timeline wouldn't make sense. And also, there wouldn't be any ashes. Like, she clearly burnt and there were ashes, unless some weird magical ritual changed that. So although they were both betrayed, I feel that it is unlikely that they are the same. Especially because I believe Andraste heard whispers from the Maker more than actually saw him. Well, she saw him in her dreams, she heard whispers of him, and I believe that he is somehow linked to the old gods, whom I believe are actually linked to the Evanurus. And if the Maker so happens to be Nightmare, as we've explored in the past, then it could also be possible, you know, in certain ways. I am more inclined to believe that Flemeth is Flemeth and Flemeth is not Andraste, that they are two different people, and that Flemeth is 542 years old. So that's it for this brief video. Like it if you like it. And that was kind of like a little, it's the like it if you like it dance. And I'll see you all soon. Masaranas. Be sure to check out some of my other stuff. Gaming, drinks, parodies, and some random silly stuff. You can also join in on the fun on Patreon for some exclusive content. Thanks for tuning in.